Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Field Notes, insights and observations for the travel marketer. My name is Eric Hulkran. On today's episode, we are talking about the changes in SEO. You might have noticed them, so I've brought along a friend. Casey Yandle from our SEO team will be answering all of the questions you might have about SEO. Where have we been? Where are we going? And more importantly, how should travel marketers think about it in 2026? And as I said, our guest today, Casey Yandle from our SEO team. I am super excited about this. Casey and I have been jamming offline for about a month or two about this idea of how to look at SEO in the end of 2025 and 2026. So Casey, first, kind of give people a 10,000-foot view of what you do on a day-to-day basis for Advance, and that'll kind of set the stage as to what we're going to talk about today.
Thanks for having me, Eric. I'm Casey Yandle. I've been in SEO since 2003, so I've seen all of the various trends or whatever. And so what my role is basically trying to divulge what the SEO strategy is for our clients across all of our markets, whether that's travel, legal, healthcare.
So I don't want to make you feel anything other than you'll feel when I say this. So 22 years ago, what gets you into SEO? Like, what was the thing that you went, this is where I want to live for the next 2 decades?
It was just by chance. The company that I was working for was like a web design company, and they basically closed down. So I was just looking for opportunities, and there was a company locally that was doing it. But back then, things were not always white hat.
No, they in 2003, no, they were not.
So that is the direction that they were going in. So that's back when, it was legit called the Wild Wild West, because like pills, porn, poker, all of that had visibility in 2003.
Yes.
And so like that is how I came to do SEO. By chance.
Got it. So here we are 22 years later, though. And Casey, frame up for us in your mind, somebody who's in SEO and thinking about strategy all day long in this particular arena. What's the difference in your mind between January of 2025 and where we are today? This is the week of Thanksgiving, so no matter when you're hearing this, it's the last week of November. What for you has changed? And then we'll talk about how this applies to travel.
Well, at the start of the year was when, previously, and so the end of 2024, it was when they rolled back all the AI overviews because of all the hallucinations. So like they had the AI was suggesting to use like glue to keep all your pizza toppings on your pizza from falling off.
Yes.
So they had to roll a lot of that back, and then slowly, like in March, with the core update, was when they started to do more of the AI overviews. So now you see it like on almost like 99% of them being knowledge and informational type of queries now. And that's basically just like a featured snippet on steroids.
Yes, I would totally agree. So, Casey, if you're a DMO or an attraction or anything like that, this year has been tumultuous at best. And I'm wondering, if we could set the stage today for a couple minutes about how should they best audit what they've been doing, and looking into 2026, what should they be focused on when it's SEO? Because one of the things that you and I talked about before we did this is you see a lot of advice, not great advice, but a lot of advice that seems to indicate that SEO is dead and you should stop doing SEO and just leap into the AI world and that will fix everything. And that is a recipe for disaster that I'm sure you'll get into in a second. But on top of this recipe for disaster, you also see people that are telling you to launch a second website that's text only. So just AI reads your website, which is also terrible advice, which, Casey, is why you're here, to push against the terrible advice. What should we be thinking about as we head into next year?
You really think about your audience and like what they're trying to learn about your area. When it comes to travel, you need to basically target all of the parts of the funnel. So not just the informational, because like obviously there's going to be AI overviews there, but like you got to hit in the middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel and tailor your content to answer all of those questions. And that's where you're going to have more organic visibility, because you're doing it that way and not just think of like things to do in Charleston, South Carolina. Like you've got to target all of the parts of the funnel and help them understand like what is best about your area that they can't just glean from reading another website. Um, with the AI overviews and AI mode, like they are very quickly to basically think about all the various next questions you can potentially have. So if your content isn't basically trying to answer those next questions that a user may have, you're not going to have that visibility.
Now, Casey, this is something that I talk about a lot, and I'm wondering your perspective because I love what you just said. I love this idea of anticipating the next question. You know, what I often say is think of the 5 questions that a first-time, in this case, visitor coming to South Carolina would have, then answer those questions until you're sick of them, and then answer the next 5. But do you have any techniques or tactics about how to figure out what those 5 questions are so that you're answering at all points in the, stages of travel or the funnel, however you want to label it?
A good way is just to, like a good indication is just to look at the people also ask questions. What is being asked or suggested that people are asking, and then look at like forums like Reddit, see what they're asking on those, and basically help tailor your content strategy in that regard.
Now, the other thing that you hear a lot, and you just mentioned it, is Reddit. Your suggestion on if you are a DMO that has no presence on Reddit, do you think they need to have a presence or just use it as an anthropologist and observe and report?
Observe and report, because if Reddit works best if the brand itself is on Reddit.
Got it.
And monitoring like what's being said about their brand. If they can find out that the DMO is doing it, is behind it, then you risk being cooked on Reddit.
Sure. Sure. So, we are in the holiday season. People have a lot of time to decompress, think about the year that they had and the year ahead. Do you have any sources, things people, if they're looking to level up, let's say in the holidays, they've got some downtime, they spent time with their family, and now they want to do something for themselves. Any places you go that you, Casey, feel helps you keep up on all of the changes that happened in SEO just in the last 9 months?
We rely on like what the other bigger agencies are doing because like they've got the bandwidth to like do experiments and things like that, test. I look at those. Search Engine Land is still like one of the go-to. Alita has a very good newsletter that she basically just digests everything that has gone on within the past week. And so like, cause like that is a way for you to basically try and digest everything that has just happened. And without you having to do it yourself.
Right. Which is, of course, how fast this is happening, right?
Exactly. Because, something can come out at the end of the week that may already be outdated because it's changed that rapidly. And then I'm in a Slack group. Like when Twitter went the way that it did, a lot of us went offline into Slack so that we can communicate that way. Networking is a great way to do it, whether it's LinkedIn or like a local meetups type things like that. That would be a way to stay ahead.
What about this year, and obviously what in 2026, what about this still excites you in the SEO space as you've been doing this for a minute and a half, right? So what about that you get up every day and you're like, I still love this space because why?
It goes back to like nothing's, it's not really changing. Like it's changed, but the same things still work. And like the benefit of like working with clients, whether they're in law or travel or healthcare, like it is basically bringing them their growth with their SEO strategy and having the visibility across all their channels to have improvement in that regard. Like everything that we have always done still works. And like we've never been like fly by night algorithm to algorithm and try to game it. Like we're always there thinking about what the user and the client and how best we can tailor everything that user is looking for when it comes to their research stage.
Casey Yandle, thank you so much for the time, and have a wonderful holiday season, and we will talk to you in the new year.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good holiday.